Cult of personality. Let's go, guys. We are here. It has finally arrived. The Mattel WWE Ringside exclusive Ultimate Edition CM Punk. Guys and gals, I am your host, SQD Will. Thanks for joining the Squared Circle Uncensored YouTube channel for another toy review. And boy, do we have a good one today. So, got this in over the weekend. You saw some videos probably on our Instagram account at SQDCircleCC. Give us a follow on Instagram. We did get this in and we were super hyped about it, so we made a little bit of a video to pump it up. Now, with that said, I see a lot of things I like. I see a lot of things that I maybe dislike about this figure. But first, before we bust it open, we need to take a look at the packaging. All right, everybody, let's take a look at this packaging. So, as you may well know, we absolutely love keeping things mock and MIB. We are mint on card for life here on the channel, but since we are reviewing toys these days, you gotta bust some open as well. With that said, I really like what they did with the style of this packaging. Now, obviously, this is just a standard Ultimate Edition style packaging here from Mattel and Ringside Collectibles, right? Nothing new in the design as far as, you know, the way really the box looks or anything like that. There's nothing new in that way, okay? So, what they did do was they changed the color, and the color looks so much better. I'm not a big red and white guy, so I love the colors they used here, and it's also the colors of the Chicago flag. So you got this baby blue here, which looks great. You got the image from the Money in the Bank, CM Punk right here in his younger days. This image looks great. What a great image to use. You do have the Attitude Era logo up here, which I find interesting. So, and you have the Ringside exclusive here. Obviously, the figure in the front window. And as you go, CM Punk on this side, nothing on here. Here are all your legalese. And then as we head to the back, we have the figure in his photographic pose, which looks good. I mean, they have been hit or miss, I think, on this. But then you also have CM Punk here. So Money in the Bank 2011 here. There we go. There's the copy. And there you go. There you have it. The GTS Chicago Bio Ultimate Edition. Wow. I want to keep one in box, guys. I may have to order another now. But let's bust it open. All right, everybody. We are back. And we busted this CM Punk Ultimate Edition open. This Ringside exclusive. And upon first look, not too bad. We're going to get into it, though. We're going to move CM Punk out of the way because there is a little choppiness in the CM Punk. And we're going to take a look at the accessories first. If you're joining us for the first time, our reviews kind of start with our inbox look. We do an accessory review, a head-to-toe review, a comparison review, and then we go into final thoughts. So thanks for joining us for this Cult of Personality, baby. Got the shirt on and everything. Let's take a look at the accessory. All right, everybody. Let's take a look at these accessories. Now, surprising enough, this figure doesn't come with a lot. Even alternate hands, and I'm happy about that. I don't need a plethora of hands and all this stuff with my Ultimate Edition figures, guys. I have bags of hands. I don't even know which hands go with which figure anymore because there's just too much. There's too much hands and there's so many different skin tones and so many different figures. And I just don't care. I'm sorry. I don't know. Comment below, guys. Do you really care about all these hands and stuff? I don't know. Maybe you're using it for figure photography. Maybe you need it for certain poses. But let's be honest. I mean, most figures just need like maybe a fist hand and a holding hand, like a C grip hand, right? Maybe a salute hand. Depends. If it's a Ric Flair, you want a 4 horsemen, right? You want the four fingers. If it's, you know, a CM Punk, you may want the fist, you know, with the, you know, to do the drug-free look or to do the X's look on the, you know, but come on, guys, we don't need all these hands. These generic hands I can do away with. Save costs. Put the costs elsewhere. I understand that you want to provide us with options and variety and stuff like that. But I think when you get to a certain collector point, right? Even if it's an Ultimate Edition figure, I don't think we're using a majority of these hands. I don't know, guys. Comment below. Let me know what you think. But I'm just tired of all these hands. Okay, let's get back to the accessory review. With that said, we're going to go over the hands. So we do have hands. There we go. We have an X hand. Open palm hand. It's a good looking hand, guys. You can make the tattoos out. It's got some fingernails on there. It does have some deco. I don't know. Not the best hands in the business by Mattel. I'll just tell you that much. I mean, I've seen hands from other companies that look way better. Same here. There's the free with the X. They do the painted on look. Again, I would love for this to be molded tape. The painted on tape looks terrible on figures, guys. Come on, we're paying $30+ for these figures. Don't tell me that you can't get molded stuff. When AEW Jazzware's AEW figures can come with molded wrist tape and stuff like that, and they're costing $20, I'm sorry. Figure it out. No pun intended. Figure it out. With that said, I'm going to take a look at this belt. So let's take a look at this belt. So this is the spinner style belt. It does not spin. This is era specific, not era. Now, there was a point where this title was not, the WW on it was not painted for WWE. Not one of my favorite choices for titles, but very accurate to this period. Very accurate to what the figure is depicting. So, I mean, with that said, I think I may have previously stated that this belt was inaccurate or the deco on it wasn't correct. I'm sorry if I said that. I'm completely wrong. Taking back those statements. This is accurate. It looks okay. It looks pretty decent. I don't know. There's some wonkiness in the paint in here, and you can see it when you're up close in the camera. You know, there's a little wonkiness up in here on the top and all that stuff, and you know, there's a little paint splatter here, and you know, I don't know, guys. Comment below. What do you think? Is this acceptable on a $30+ figure? I don't know. Comment below. Again, this is a Ringside exclusive too, so I guess they may go on discount like during Black Friday next year. We'll get to the shirt. This is what we need in the CM Punk shirt. I don't think we need anything more or anything less. It's a ringer. It's what we need from the time period. Would I have loved to have a back hit on the shirt? Of course, but unfortunately we didn't get that. So, I mean, you know, it's okay. It's the CM Punk shirt. I have no problem with it. Next, we have some of these Screaming sculpts, and here's where, again, it's a hit or miss with Mattel. This does not like CM Punk to me. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't like it. It's that simple. I do love the fact that it is detailed. I love the fact that they gave the lip ring here. Sorry, I'm going to get that on camera. And they did it in all his facial sculpts from this era. But I just don't like it, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know. Look at his face. God, he looks like he's like a horror creature or something. I don't know, man. They're very hit or miss with these open mouth face sculpts. And I think this is a miss on the figure. Now, this is the obviously infamous kiss. And that is why they provided you with this hand so you can blow a kiss. Okay, we get it. Looks good. I'm not gonna get on them too much for this sculpt. For what it is, I think they did an okay job, but not my choice. I'm not gonna use either one of these head sculpts. I'm sorry, I just don't care about the kiss that much. But with that said, that's a look at the accessories. Comment below, let me know what you think. Do you think we should have got more? Do you think we should have got better detail? Do you think this figure was rushed a little bit? Comment below, let me know your thoughts. We're going to get into the head-to-toe review right now. All right, guys and gals, welcome back. We are going to take a head-to-toe look at this figure right now. So let's grab Punk and get him up close to the camera. All right, you know what we do. We do head-to-toe here on the channel. So what we're going to take a look is the head sculpt first. And we do a little bit of articulation in here, too. I like it. I think this looks like Punk. I think they nailed it. I'm not going to be too picky or nitpicky about this. I do love the fact, again, and I said previously in the accessory portion of this review, I love the fact that they gave him the lip ring there. I think that looks good. It looks like CM Punk. I don't know. Comment below. What are your thoughts, guys? Obviously, standard Ultimate Edition articulation. This does not have a bobblehead. So this has a little bit of a loose head, but not a bobblehead. So I'll give it to them for that. I did open a Superstars figure up just recently. Big Boss Man had a little bit of a bobblehead on it, but this one looks good. So this is nice and tight. The joints looks good. You have the butterfly joints here, the tattoo deco. And in all honesty, the tattoo deco is okay. You do have these big hands again. I don't understand why the Mattel does that. The hands are so much larger, in my opinion, than they need to be on this figure. But I guess they just don't want to invest in new hand molds. That's why they keep reusing the old ones. Nice tattoo work here. You have the double jointed nature of the elbows here, which work perfectly. You know, you can get him in any basically pose which way. You have the ab crunch here and kind of a 360-degree rotation. You have 360 rotation at the waist as well. And then as we get into the tattoo, obviously you're missing the Pepsi and the Pepsi tattoo and the Cobra tattoo. Just invest in it, guys. You guys should be able to work with other companies to get this stuff done. I don't understand why you can't and other companies can. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You have like Transformers collaborations and you have all these collaborations going on. He-Man and Stranger Things and everything. Can't you get the Joe and the Pepsi, guys? I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't understand it. But all right. I'm gonna stop here because I'm being a little bit negative about this figure, and I am because I think I'm getting a little tired with the Mattel product because it's the same old, same old. We haven't seen really any new inventions or new, like, obviously since the Ultimate Editions, we had the butterfly joints, the new torso choices and stuff like that. We have the drop down at the hip, obviously, hip swivel there, 360-degree bend, pinned? Did I see a pin? Hold on. Do other Ultimate Editions have pins? Maybe they do. I'm sorry. I thought that these were pinless legs. We'll look in comparisons, guys. We'll look in comparisons. But anyway. So you have the drop down, which is great. It's great for posability, great for your photography and stuff like that. But this is useless for me, in all honesty. Most of us are not doing this. So most of us are not going to use that joint. The majority. You got the knee pads. You have the Chicago flag inspired gear here. So you have a lot of the shin guards here on the boots and stuff like that, which is great and accurate to the time period. I do like the knee pads. I like that they're a little thinner. Again, I don't like the pin knees here. I don't like this. I don't like this bulky looking elbow pad. It looks bad. I do like that it does have some flexibility to it. But I don't know. I don't know. Comment below, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. And my last thing about this figure, and I'm going to say about twofold here. This cut does not look good. I don't know why, but it does look like it does not match, and there's too much shadow under here. It's not as seamless as it should be. Even when you get to this point, it looks a little off and odd. I don't like that. I'm actually go three things. Second, this looks wonky. Do you see all that nonsense here? I mean, this just looks wonky. Like, so if I go like that or like that, I mean, the figure just looks off. Doesn't it look off to you? Like, it has to be in that place, right? It has to be in that place to kind of where you see cuts. And it looks off and it looks weird. Guys, I'm sorry, it does. And I had him standing before. And it like if you look at like that, like you could see like the gap and the extra place there, and I don't know. Comment below. Does that bother you? Kind of bothers me a little bit. And then last but not least, obviously the tape. It looks sloppy. Look at that paint slop. I mean, that is a fresh figure out of the packaging with major paint QA QC issues again. And I paid up for this figure. So with that said, like I said, I think the figure overall is much needed. I think they need to make some adjustments here. But comment below, what do you think? I mean, as a shelf figure, kind of our first CM Punk Ultimate Edition, I'm not gonna cry wolf here. I'm not gonna hit it too hard, even though I've hit it hard. In the head to toe, we've hit this figure hard, guys. We've hit it hard. Those are some of my complaints. We're gonna bring in Jazzwares. We're gonna bring in some other figures for comparison's sake, and then you let us know, what do you think? How does this hold up to the Jazzwares product? How does this hold up to other lines? So let's get into comparisons. All right, everybody, we are back and we are in comparisons. I don't even know where to begin, guys and gals, because I kind of want to start with like Ultimates and then work our way to Jazzwares, and I think that's what we're gonna do, just for the sake of, you know, continuity. We'll start with Mattel product first. We'll work our way into Jazzwares and other lines, and then we'll go from there. And it has to be apropos, and I'm not taking the coat off of him, but I mean, they're gonna be facing soon, so there's a little Seth Rollins and CM Punk action next to each other. And again, with the line, it looks great. I'm not saying it's a bad figure. I'm not saying that the figure isn't good. It doesn't look good. It definitely looks good in your Ultimate Edition collection and stuff like that. But I think we can get better. And I don't know. I'm like a little bit exhausted by, again, just the attention to detail and the lack thereof on some of these figures and the QA QC issues. So there you go. There's Seth Rollins, and we love this Seth Rollins. I mean, look at that belt. I mean, that this Seth Rollins figure is probably one of the better figures of all time when it comes to just strict wrestling figures, right? Next, we have our Eddie Guerrero. So again, Eddie looks great. He's a very plain Jane figure, right? But he does look really good. Even with the splits and everything, he looks really good, and he's sized well, and he looks good next to the Punk. You know, I must admit, I don't dislike this Eddie, and the torso on this Eddie has a little bit of the same issue as the CM Punk, where, and we didn't get into the review of this figure yet, but you can see that the top half is just a little bit bigger, and it just looks a little wonky on the figure. With that said, if you're a WWE fan and you're watching this, we just dropped the Mankind Mick Foley review, so definitely check that out. And he looks great too next to each other. So these two look great next to each other. Again, they're going to look very good in your Ultimate Edition collection, guys and gals. And even in your regular Mattel collection. I don't think it's Ultimate Edition exclusive. Now what we'll do is we'll actually bring in a little bit of a larger figure here. We're going to bring in the Tanahashi here, because he is retiring this coming year. So there's a Super 7 Ultimates next to a Mattel Ultimate Edition. And, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. Comment below. What do you guys think? What do you think about this Mattel line in general? All right, next, why don't we do it? Let's start it. Do you want, we should go this route first. That is a regular MJF from just Jazzwares, one of the Unrivaled collections or whatnot. So there you go, you have an idea. And this does have pins in the legs and in the arms. And I have been a very, very staunch proponent of changing this. So I don't want these pins in any of my figures anymore. I don't think it's warranted in anything. I mean, I want to see seamless design. Edge will be dropping soon, guys and gals, probably right after this one. But that Edge is like a work of art, guys. And you can see next to the CM Punk, it's a stark contrast. I got this figure for less than $20, guys, on a Target coupon. I don't know. You tell me which one's better. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this. Oh, when will they learn? When will they learn? When will we get smarter, guys? That's the actual key. When will we get smarter? Here we go. Why don't we do it? My favorite Cody Rhodes figure still of all time. That Jazzwares 8. Now again, I have said this many times. This is a Supreme. I believe that the Mattel head sculpt is a lot better. And you can check out our Ultimate Edition Cody Rhodes review in a previous video, and you can see how they compare. And I like using the Mattel head sculpt on this figure. I'm just for continuity's sake. I just like to keep them as is. I don't customize a lot, guys. All right, now let's do this. This is a straight up Punk versus Punk. This is the Supreme Punk. This could be an alternate head sculpt. I did a little kit bashing here because I found so many of these Supreme Punks. But I'm sorry, guys. The Ultimate Edition just doesn't look as good. And again, even though the body and style is from a different era, I do think that the tattoo deco pops more on the Supreme. The skin tone pops more on the Supreme. It has more of that shine. You can see here. You can see there's better proportions, especially in the hands, to the arms and the legs and the torso area. It just is a little bit more seamless in its look and its design. I'm sorry. This is like, again, this was a $40 figure. So let's say I probably paid about 35, 40 bucks at Walmart at the time. But you got all this great also molded wrist tape and stuff. I mean, the tattoos are far better. You got the Cobra tattoo and the Pepsi tattoo on this side. I mean, they just pop. Look, guys, there's no comparison. There really isn't. The tattoo deco pops better on the Jazzwares. The tattoo deco is just better overall. And then you have more details. Even in the gear, it's molded this has like a molded on belt. You can feel it. Maybe Mattel is better in the boots a little bit by just a nudge. I wouldn't even say that though. This is more painted on. This is more molded on, like in the shin guard area. But again, it's just a different figure as far as the attire is concerned, to a certain extent. I don't know. Comment below which one do you like better. And then my ultimate CM Punk, the best, is the Supreme, all decked out with this head sculpt. This head sculpt, I think, is just like sick. I mean, that figure, in my opinion, this figure is the best CM Punk figure ever made. Looking like this with all the, the head sculpt looks great. I can say that this Punk head sculpt versus this Punk head sculpt, I do feel that the Ultimate Edition is a little more softer. It does look a little bit more like Punk. I must admit that. I think Mattel's head skins were more Punk-esque, I would say. The Jazzwares AEW ones, they didn't completely nail it, but they came pretty damn close, and I think this is one of the best CM Punk figures of all time, bar none, and they're about the same price. I should do this. And guys, I'm sorry, but if you're looking for a CM Punk figure for your Mattel collection, I would go with this one. If you're looking for just an overall great CM Punk figure, I would go for this one. So, again, it depends. It depends. Quality over quantity. And I believe this is a higher quality, cheaper product. All right, so let's get them out of the way. Let's finish this off by bringing in some other lines. We like to do this just for size reference on the channel. We all know that Mattel is very oversized. Nightmare Batman, McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse just dropped. So there you go. That's the Batfleck. Love that figure. And just for fun, we have our indie. Just came in. This is the Mezco 1/12 Collective Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark. So there you go. Next to CM Punk. And those Mattel figgies are pretty big, guys. So that's just next to a Mezco. And then, just for the heck of it, Captain Enoch, Star Wars Black Series. And again, Star Wars Black Series, very small, comparatively speaking. All right, guys, so we're going to get into final thoughts. And we'll see you on the flip side, baby. All right, everybody, we are back to final thoughts. Thanks for joining us here on another figure review. As we always say, I am your host, SQD Will. We are here to collect. Now, what are our final thoughts of this figure? The figure actually in hand isn't that bad. I'd have to give it an overall grade of like a C. I think there's a lot of hits and there's a lot of misses. Probably more misses than hits. However, the figure in hand, the build quality doesn't feel bad. It doesn't have a bobblehead. Those are some of the positives. The QA and QC on the plastic and the joints and stuff it's a solid figure, which is a very, very good thing. Mattel has had some troubles in the past with these things. Now, some of the bad things about this figure, I don't like that torso cut. I think it could have been a little bit more seamless. There's a little bit of shadowing going on. It looks like the bottom portion is a little bit slimmer than the top portion. A little slimmer than it should be. It should be more seamless, in my opinion. Secondly, this thigh swivel, when you get it in a position like that, it looks very weird. So, I mean, you have to make sure it's just like that. I do not like that these are not pinless on the knees. I thought we were pinless knees. I guess not on Ultimate Editions yet. They still have the pins. They got to do away with those pins. But I digress. The hands are too big. I don't like the fact that they don't do molded wrist tape. You saw on the AEW product, the Jazzwares AEW, all molded wrist tape. This should be molded on, guys. It just looks a lot better. And then you don't have all this paint defects and stuff. Tattoo work could be improved as well. I felt the tattoo deco on this figure was subpar. I think that they need to go out. They need to spend the extra money on getting the Cobra logos and all that jazz for the CM Punk figure. Why not? It's a one-time spend and hopefully all the time use. I know there's a lot of legalities and stuff, but try to do it. As you can see, also, the hands are too big. You can't get them in that CM Punk pose. Don't like that at all either. Those two head scans, those alternate head scans weren't the greatest. However, another positive of the figure, I do love this head sculpt. I think it looks very lifelike. I love the detail on it. I love, obviously, the beard and the stubble and the lip ring and all the jazz here on CM Punk's face sculpt. Looks great. The title looks great on him as well. Love the knee pads. Disliked the elbow pad. Did not like this elbow pad. It was bulky. It was weird. It was wonky. I ripped it off my figure. I don't want it on my figure. The shin guards look great. I love that they did some molded detail in here too, and I love the paint detail on the boots. They look great. So with all that said, though, you know, the ultimate question is not whether or not this is an Ultimate Edition, but should you buy it? And that's going to be up to you, really. I really like this figure as an inbox figure, even though I don't like the display configuration of the Ultimate Edition inside the packaging. I feel that they should have the figure actually centered in the middle. However, if you are looking for a figure to get signed and autographed and to put into your collection, I think that would be the perfect use for this figure. As far as a display figure, I would probably not put this into my display. It just looks a little wonky. Even you can see there, I may have to go with just the drug-free look like this, you know, where he's like, you know, doing something like that or something like I had on my AEW figure. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. We'll get him into the pose for the purposes of the thumbnail of this review and for obviously our social media purposes. But at the same time, I'm trying to figure out, other than the kiss, because I am not posing him in the kiss. I'm sorry, I'm just not doing it. The head sculpt doesn't look that great. It's just not a pose, like it's an aftermatch pose that I'm not going to put him in. So with that said, that's going to be up to you guys. Look, we're not here to say don't buy it. We're not here to say buy it. That's going to be up to you and your collecting purposes and whether or not you like this figure. However, we're just giving you the details in which we think the figure could be improved and where other figures have shined in those certain areas better, so that are not so great on this figure. So you do have options out there. That's going to be entirely up to you which options you choose. However, if it was me, I'll probably get one to keep in box again, just for him to sign down the road. And then what I may end up doing, I may end up just selling this loose figure, personally. I just don't know if I want to put this in this collection. I may purchase it down the road when it goes on clearance or on a discount, like a Black Friday 2025 or something, if they're available. Monitor the movements of this stuff, guys and gals. You know Ringside Collectibles always does they do major sales. They may have a ton of these sitting in their inventory after a while. So you may be able to find this figure on the cheap. And if you can, I would pick it up. I think it's a $25 figure. I'd pay $25 for it. Maybe $25 or lower. I wouldn't pay any higher personally. And that's that. Hopefully they do better next round. Hopefully they're gonna inundate us with CM Punk. So let's hope they clean some things up after this figure. Let's hope that they listen to the people that are actually reviewing it constructively, and they take some of these things into consideration, whether it be in the short term or in the long term. Like, I know changing hands and stuff is a very long-term goal because it requires new molds and all these things. So I get the business behind it. However, what can you do to make this figure better sooner? And it's simple. You know, maybe do a little better on the tattoos, a little better on the face sculpts, get that armband out of there. Just small little tweaks here and there. Maybe, again, just the torso a little bit, you know, more seamless in the torso, or like the Seth Rollins. Those things. I think those could be improved. However, again, C grade here. No hats off to Mattel. You did all right. Not the best. With this said, I don't know if the figure was rushed. I know it was a Ringside Collectibles exclusive. I know they wanted to get it out before the holidays. We'll see what other CM Punks they have down the road. We're a big fan here, as you could see. So, with all that said, remember, I'm your host, SQD Will. We are here to collect. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, folks. Thanks so much for all of you that have already done that. But the 80% of you that haven't, you got to get in here. It doesn't take much. Just boom, subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Now, also, for you people that are watching this, comment below. Let me know your thoughts about the figure. What do you like? What do you dislike? Is there something that you feel I'm off about? If I am, comment below, guys. Let's have a discussion about this figure. We want you guys to comment more on our videos and what your thoughts are, especially on these review videos. With all of that said, you know what we're going to be on. We're going to be on Figgy hunts. We love going on hunts. So check out our other Fig Hunt videos, and we're going to find those figures. We're going to bring them back to the studio, and we're going to review them. So, until next time, don't forget to join us here in the studio for another figure review video. And don't forget, we are here to collect.